Good morning students. In this module, we learn about agriculture in India. In the previous module, we had discussed about agriculture and green revolution in India. In this module, we learn about the different types of agricultural practices in India. Let's begin. So the first one is shifting agriculture. Now to learn about this, it is a form of agriculture in which an area of ground is cleared of vegetation and cultivated for a few years and then abandoned for a new area. So this is a very unscientific method of cultivation. In this, a forested area or a tract in a forested land is cleared, it is burned, and then in that area people settle there on temporary basis and they do agriculture. They grow crops and they stay there for few years and then they abandon this land and move to a new area. So the land which they have abandoned is left fallow, is left without any vegetation, so it is highly prone to soil erosion. So it is considered to be an unscientific mode of or method of cultivation. They also burn the uprooted trees and mix their ashes in the soil so as to make the soil fertile. So when these people they clear the part of a forest, they burn the trees which they cut down, and then the ashes of these trees are mixed with the soil to increase the fertility so that the soil becomes good enough to grow crops. After cultivating and harvesting, they move to other land and repeat the same process. So like this, they keep on moving from one area to another, and like this they cut a part of forest, and like this they accelerate the rate of deforestation, soil erosion, and so on. So it's a big environmental concern. See this picture here, they have burnt the forest, they have cut down the trees and burned the forest. You can see the smoke coming out. Here the fire is off, but still because the forest has been burnt, the smoke can be seen. See when they leave the area, it is almost devoid of vegetation and it's highly prone to soil erosion. This type of agriculture is known as zooming agriculture in northeastern part of India, and it is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Here they slash down the trees and then they burn it. So this is also known as slash and burn agriculture. In this, the land is cleared by slashing and burning vegetation. Crops are grown in the land for few years and until the soil is depleted of nutrients. So when the soil become infertile, they leave the land fallow and they abandon the land and they go to next spot or another spot. So they leave the land to regain the fertility or regain the nutrients which the soil has lost, but this area is devoid of vegetation, so highly prone to soil erosion. Now in shifting agriculture, it is practiced in India in the states of Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. Shifting cultivation is mostly practiced in the hilly areas, especially in the forested areas, and mostly by the tribal communities living in the northeastern part of India as well as in different parts of the world. The government of India has banned this type of cultivation because it is unscientific and it was leading to deforestation and soil erosion. So this is why shifting agriculture has been banned in India. Now next in the list is subsistence agriculture. Let us learn about it. Subsistence agriculture occurs when farmers grow food crops to meet the need of their family. So here in subsistence agriculture, the farmer's motive is not profit, but his motive is to feed his family, to feed himself and his family. This is the main purpose of subsistence agriculture. It is done mainly when the farmer is poor, he is not capable enough to spend a lot of money or to put a lot of capital so that he can buy good variety of seeds, modern machines and scientific methods and technology for farming. He is only capable of growing that much crop to feed his family. So in subsistence agriculture, farm output is targeted to survival and is mostly for local requirement, and little or no surplus, means no extra is grown, and even if extra is grown, very little can be sometimes sold into the market. Otherwise most of it is mostly consumed by the farmer and his family. So this is the idea and concept of subsistence agriculture. Subsistence farming is a form of farming in which nearly all the crops or livestock raised are used to maintain the farmer and the farmer's family, leaving little if any surplus for sale or trade. So here students, the farmer grows crop, and also sometimes he keeps some cattle like cow, sheep, etc. He keeps some cattle also, but whatever he gets by keeping the cattle, like from the cow he can obtain milk, so he uses it for his family instead of selling it into the market, because this is only that much which is consumed by his family, and extra or surplus is not left for sale or trade. Pre-industrial agricultural people. Now students, this subsistence agriculture is a pre-industrial type of agriculture where people throughout the world have traditionally practiced subsistence farming. So before the industrial revolution in Europe, people used to practice this type of agriculture, which is subsistence agriculture, mostly focused on the survival of the family of the farmer. You can see the picture here, the small plot, and they use primitive methods of farming. Still the bullocks are used in the farm. You can see small hold, even they keep some livestock like sheep, cow, goat, etc. to get some extra income for their family. Now next in the list is intensive agriculture. So here we move to modern methods of agriculture. Let us see what it is. Intensive agriculture, also known as intensive farming and industrial agriculture. So let's focus on this word, industrial agriculture. So here this agriculture is mostly focused on profit, trade and sale. It is a type of agriculture both of crop plants and of animals, with higher level of input and output per cubic unit of agricultural land area. This means in this intensive agriculture, the land is not very big. The plot where the agri farming is done is not very big, but lot of scientific techniques, machines are used, advanced machines of doing agriculture. High yielding variety, good variety of seeds are being sown into the soil, and lot of fertilizer, pesticides, insecticides, these are being a part of input in the field so that the production becomes very high. Intensive commercial agriculture is any kind of agricultural activity that involves effective and efficient use of labor on small plot of land to maximize crop yield. Here the word yield means production. So effective and efficient use of labor. So the laborers who work in the field, so maximum could be extracted by their hard work, that is by using modern machines, by putting fertilizer, pesticides and whatever is required to increase the production, maximum crop yield, maximum production of crops. So let's proceed. So this was the concept of intensive agriculture. See the picture, these are small plots of land, but you can see the machines are there, and you can see how organized these farms are. So now next in the list is extensive agriculture. In intensive agriculture, the farms were small, but in extensive agriculture, the farms are very, very large, and this type of agriculture is practiced where population is less. So it is highly mechanized. Farms are large and it is highly mechanized type of agriculture. Let us read about it. Extensive farming or extensive agriculture is an agricultural production system that uses small input of labor, fertilizer and capital relative to the land area being farmed. So here students, it doesn't mean that the capital investment is less. It's not less, but compared to the size of the farm, it is less. So I told you just now, it is practiced in areas with low population. But fertilizers, capital, investment, modern machines, all are used so that production can be more. Farm size in extensive farming are very large, often exceeding 250 hectares. Low intensity of labor. Emphasis on monocropping. So yes, this type of agriculture is based on profit. So mostly one or single crop is grown like wheat, etc. Low production per unit area. So production is, compared to the capital investment and labor input, is less. So the farm size is so large that if we compare it with the input of fertilizers, machines and labor, it is less. You can see the picture, the farms are big, well organized and the machines are used, so they are highly mechanized. Now next in the list is commercial farming. So the name itself says it is for profit for commercial purpose. Let's read about it. Commercial farming is a type of farming in which crops are grown for commercial use only. It is a modernized method of farming that is undertaken on a very large scale. So it's a modern methods of farming are used and farming is done on a very large scale. Like a lot of crops are produced for market for profit. Now Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana and Maharashtra in India, mainly they practice this type of agriculture. Main crops grown are wheat, cotton, sugarcane, corn, etc. Labors and machines, we can see the last point. Labors and machines are used for to maximize the production, to maximize the profit. See the picture, machines are used, farms are well organized and profit oriented. The next one in the list is plantation agriculture. Students, as the name says, plantation, so certain crops are brought from somewhere else and they are grown in a foreign land, and when they grow they give lot of profit. For example, rubber, coffee, tea, etc. But let me tell you that everywhere rubber is not a plantation crop. At places the condition is very much suitable for growth of rubber and rubber is grown there as a commercial crop. But plantation crop is such a crop which is brought from somewhere else and then grown for earning lot of profit. Let us learn more. Plantation agriculture is a form of commercial farming. So students, just now in the list we learnt about commercial farming. So plantation agriculture is a type of commercial farming because it is oriented towards profit. Large land areas, just like commercial farming. Countries that have plantation agriculture usually experience tropical climate with high annual rate of temperature and receive very good amount of rainfall. So the annual range of temperature, high annual temperature should be there, climate should be tropical and should receive good amount of rainfall. So these are the three requirements for a well flourishing plantation farm. Let us know more. Plantation agriculture is export oriented. Students, just now I told you it is commercial, profit oriented, so definitely it will be export oriented. For example, coffee and tea. We consume coffee and tea in our country, but we are one of the biggest exporters of tea in the world. So like this, certain crops are plantation crops grown for profit and they are export oriented. Now natural rubber, coconut, oil palm, tea, cocoa, coffee, all tree crops are, they take lot of long time to mature, but afterwards they are productive for very long period. Especially rubber also, it takes a long time for rubber to grow, but then after when the tree is mature, we can extract lot of rubber for many years, for a very long time duration. Plantation farming is bush or tree farming. It is also called bush or tree farming. In a tree, example is banana plantation, rubber plantation. In bush, example is tea and coffee. It was introduced by the British to the Indians in 19th century. It is a single crop farming of rubber, tea, coffee, cocoa, spices, coconut. It can be fruits also like apple, grapes, oranges, etc. So any one crop or a bush or a tree is grown so that lot of profit can be earned. Let me tell you, here only either a plant, a tree or a bush is grown. And I gave you example, trees like rubber, cocoa and bush like tea, etc. Plantations are only capable of producing a single crop which take long time to grow. As we discussed earlier, it takes long time, but when it is mature, it gives a lot of profit. Plantation agriculture is practiced in India in Kerala, Assam, Karnataka and Maharashtra, and the major plantation crops are rubber, tea, coffee, cocoa, spices, coconut, fruits like apple, grapes, oranges, etc. So this is about the plantation agriculture, and these are the states where plantation agriculture is practiced in India, and these are the main crops. This is the picture of a tea plantation. These farms are highly mechanized. Characteristics: it is a single crop farming practice on a large area. Crops are mainly grown for market, and both labor intensive or capital intensive, means laborers are required, like just now I shown you the picture of tea plantation. So many laborers are required to pluck the tea leaves, and it is also capital intensive because lot of money is required to maintain the tea estates. Lot of care has to be taken of the tea plantation, otherwise the production will be hampered. Now next in the list is mixed farming. So students, the name itself says mixed farming, means here crops are grown as well as livestock is also reared at the same farm. This gives an additional or extra income to the farmer. Mixed farming is a type of farming which involves both growing of crops and raising of livestock. These will be kept in the same field. This is done so that the crops can be used as food for animal, and the waste produced by the animal can be used as manure by the plants. Now it's a mutual thing, like the animal waste can be used as a manure for the crops, and whatever is extra left from the crops can be consumed by the animals. So like this, it's a mutual, it is for sustenance and mutual development, mutual benefit. It provides good return to the farmer as modern technology, machineries and quick means of transportation are available to them. If the farmers have these facilities, then they can earn a lot of profit by mixed farming. In India, it is not very common due to the population pressure, and land holdings are small, and there is also lack of modern technology. So these are the limitations in India. India has a high population pressure, and the land holdings are very small to maintain crops as well as to maintain the cattle, the livestock, the animals. So therefore it's not very much suitable in this condition of India, and even the Indian farmers do not have very advanced access to very advanced technology. So this is not very much in practice in India. This is the picture where the animals are kept in the farm and they benefit each other. So thank you students, that's all in this module. We shall learn more in the next